Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to all of you for today's session. Students, just let me know whether you people can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, what about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, so students, our the last lecture we covered. Yes. How many of you have revised and prepared the last lecture? Tell me. How many of you have prepared the last lecture? Tell me, please. I need response from you people. I need response from you people. Yeah. I told you it is very, very, very important to prepare the lecture every week. I told you people clearly. I told that clearly to you people. Yes, please. How many of you have prepared the last lecture? Only one person? What about others? Why they haven't prepared that yet?
I have, sir.
Good.
I have also prepared, sir.
Good. You have read the notes. I told you, you have not to read. You have to prepare. There is a huge difference between reading and preparing. You know that. People are wise people. Majority of you are doing job. And you know the difference, that what is the difference between reading and preparing? You people know that. Yes. You know, it takes two to clap. It takes two to clap. And if you will not prepare, if you will not do your part, I cannot fulfill that deficiency. If you are not doing your job, things will become difficult. I'm telling you. Yes, things will become difficult. I'm warning you people who have not prepared the lecture. Today's lecture, that is, we are starting controls and test of control. I have given you introductory thing, introduction in the last class, right? I have given you introduction. But today itself, things will become complicated if you do not prepare the lecture before next class. And I don't want students to come to my class without preparation of lecture. I'm sorry, you know, why? The reason is I am thinking about you. you have enrolled with me for audit and assurance class. And if, God forbid, you fail tomorrow, what will happen? You will blame me and you are not following my advice. Will that be fair to blame me when you are not following my advice? Tell me. Will that be fair? No, that will not be. That will never be fair. I know that. So that's, but still students will blame. That, okay, we have studied with Mr. Hamzah. He teaches very well. But, I failed because of him. And no one will reflect on the fact that when you are studying with Mr. Hamzah, you are following your own way. You're not paying heed to any advice of Mr. Hamzah. You are following your own way and you are affecting the results which you won't get in that way. So please, my request to you people is that revise, prepare every lecture before next class. Please. Otherwise, things will not be different. You can study with any lecturer. Okay? Results will not be the good. Now, next. So, in the last class, we discussed a few points. The point was objectives and response. Just a minute. Let me connect my iPad with it. Just a minute, student. There is some, I think, problem with my Apple Pen. It's not writing all of a sudden. Okay. Just I'm sorry, all of a sudden it stopped working. Yes, tell me one thing. Controls and control objectives. Which comes first? Tell me, please. Controls and control objectives. Which one comes first? Yes. Which one comes first?
Control objectives.
Okay. Now the further question is, which one is more important, control or control objective? Which one is more important?
Control objective comes first.
Exactly. Your answer is correct. Control objectives are more important. Right. Yes. So we said that controls are ways, policies, procedures used by organization to achieve objectives. So they are, yes. So since we are talking about financial statements and objectives, so what are the financial statement objectives? What is the other name of financial statement objectives? Do you know? What is the name of financial statement objectives?
Assertions.
Yes?
Assertions.
Assertions. Financial statement assertions. It means they are the objectives of financial statements. So it means organization has to implement controls. Every organization implements controls to achieve financial statement objectives. So it is the management of company which has the responsibility to implement the controls within organization to achieve financial statement objectives as well, to ensure, why? To ensure those objectives are achieved. To ensure those objectives are achieved. Now, the next point. What is auditor's role? Auditor comes to company. Auditor has to test the controls, whether controls are effective in effective. Effective means they are achieved their objectives or not. Controls achieve their objectives or not. Now, let us proceed further. So, auditor, the next topic is auditor and internal controls of company. Students, auditor is testing the medium their objectives. In other words, financial statement objectives. In other words, financial statement objectives. In other words, yes. So that auditor can assess if they are not meeting the objectives. It means financial statement may be misstated. If they are meeting the objectives, it means less chances of misstatement. And then accordingly, substantive tests on the financial statements have to be performed. So now we will dig into deep in this topic. Auditor and internal controls of company. Auditor and internal control of company. Students, auditor, number one, understands the controls. The first thing. Understands the controls. Second, document the controls. Those controls are documented. Documentation is done. Then performs walkthrough test. And then performs test of controls. Test of controls. Now, so 4-step process. So it is the 4-step process. We have to discuss each and every step ourselves. The first of all is understanding the control. Auditor comes to the company and understand the controls of company. How does understand? By inquiry from the management, by reading the documents of the company, account charts of the company, by observing the processes over there. And students, the first topic is components of internal control system. The page number, I have shared updated document in the WhatsApp group. You people know that. Page number 59. Page number 59. So the 5 components of internal controls. The first component is the control environment. What is control environment? Control environment is environment, factors surrounding, hovering over, under which control have to operate. It's just like that. You have to study at home. No, environment. Can you study at home? Number of students, they contact me. They say, Mr. Hamzah, arrange some physical classes here in Mauritius. Because, you know, sometime at home, we don't have such environment. Means that everyone, it's a family gathering, we cannot be focused. Yes, yes, please. So we cannot be focused. Okay, you are not on the WhatsApp group. So those, have you enrolled in the class? Have you paid the fee? If you have paid the fee, you can contact. Okay, then of course, that's the reason. Those students who haven't paid the fee, today will be their last class. I'm sorry to say, because our policy is to allow maximum 2 trial classes, and that is in the first month of the course. Those who have enrolled, who have paid the fee, they are all in the WhatsApp group already. From the next week, if you have paid the fee, then you will have access to the class. This is the last, class like this, free available. Okay, from the next week, you need to log in on the website to access Zoom link even. It will be locked. From then, everyone, please note down. You need to log in, sign in, then you can access. Those who are having such issues, I am sharing the WhatsApp number of my coordinator. Here, please drop a text via WhatsApp to them. Tell them and ask them why you have not been added if you have already paid. Okay? And all such issues, access to the notes, videos, problems, this is the number. And if they do not resolve, then my number is there. Okay? But first, please contact them. They will resolve the issue. Okay? Now, please note down this number. Okay, control environment. The control environment, I was telling you, the environment surrounding under which control have to be. Environment will be strengthening the controls. It will be supportive to the controls, or environment will be against the controls. For example, if organization is hiring the staff, either organization firing, promoting, what are the policies? How the quality of the staff is being checked? How the return is being given? Compensation policies. On which basis they are doing? So it will ultimately motivate the employees. If everyone knows I have to do some buttering of my boss only to be promoted, environment will be different. On the other hand, if someone knows that you have to comply with policies, you will get the reward, environment will be different. How important are controls for the management? Directors, how much time they spend to management's philosophy, how important these thing controls are, how they approach an attitude towards financial reporting. attitude towards information processing and accounting function and personnel. The management's attitude, how important accounting rules this they think about the control this they think. Those charged with governance, yes, sorry, directors of the company, yes, how much they participate in the company, how much they scrutinize, oversee, monitor. So if they monitor, everyone will see, oh, directors are sitting here. Be careful, work properly. Yes. Commitment to competence and HR policies. I told you. So when you hire people, so whether you see competence or something else, or you see obedience, you know, sometimes obedience and competence, you have to choose between the both. If you choose only obedience, you will destroy your company culture. HR policies, I have already explained. Authority and responsible. In the organization, you are giving authority to the people, or you are giving responsibility. They both should go line by line. Only authority, but no responsibility will be waste of resources, will be the casual attitude of the result, the casual attitude of the management. Only responsibility, but not authority. It will frustrate. Let us proceed further. Let us proceed further. So students, this side of the column, you need to memorize this side. And here you need to comprehend only. You can write in your own words. Okay, these headings you need to memorize. So you see here, auditor shall assess whether these elements of controls have been implemented, and how auditor will assess by using inquiry, observation, and inspection. Yes, there is entity's risk assessment process. Each organization have good organization risk assessment process. They identify business risk, they identify to the financial reporting objective. Yes, how significant is the risk? What is the chances of occurrence? And deciding how to address those risks. So 4-step process of risk assessment process. This is the risk assessment process. 4 steps. And now, if the entity auditor understands, yes, that how the good is a process. If organization does not have process, then he will discuss with management how you are addressing the risks. Yes. Now, next. The next point is information system relevant to financial reporting. Students, transactions are captured at various stages. When purchase requisition is generated, then purchase order is generated, Then good received note is generated. Then payment voucher is made. You know that? So 3-4 places transaction is being captured. So that everyone, things are under control. If you have to sell asset, you have to buy asset, there are different people who are having responsibilities, who have to record that transaction. One transaction is being recorded at multiple stages. You see, initiate, record, process, report, and hence accountability is ensured for the assets and liabilities. Auditors shall understand how entity ensures communicate these responsibilities to their staff. Organization understands. Now, let us proceed further. The control activities, specific procedures. For example, you have to get signature of the boss to purchase item, authorization. Everyone's performance is being reviewed, annual appraisal. You cannot enter the transaction more than a certain amount. Processing. Everyone cannot enter the stores or cash department. And then physical access control. Physically, access is limited to the cash department, to the inventory, to the stores. Then is the segregation of duties. Very important control activity. That one full transaction is broken down and is being processed by 2, 3, 4 persons. One person does not process one full transaction. This is called segregation of duties. It reduces the chance of fraud. For example, I told you for the purchasing of goods, one person will prepare purchase requisition, other will prepare purchase order, third will receive goods, generate GRN, fourth will process payment, fifth will update the accounts. So one transaction you see is being done by 5%. So segregation of duties. So duties are segregated, broken down. So these are all control activities. Then is monitoring of controls. Now, so the next is monitoring. Once controls are implemented, organization should monitor whether they are achieving the objectives. People may find loopholes and do not comply with the control. And circumstances may change and controls may need to be improved. So that's why they should be monitored so that corrective action are taken. So now auditor will see how the company monitors the controls on financial reporting. Yes, and how corrective actions are taken. So you see here for each point, we have discussed what the component is, what auditor does about that. What the component is, what auditor does. Yes, component is what auditor does, and so on. What auditor does, what the component is, and so on. Students, please go through it and tell me if there is any question, any point you want me to re-explain. Everyone, please. Students, I need response. Is it clear? 5 components of internal controls. They're clear to you?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So limitations of internal control. Next topic is limitations of control. So then the first limitation is that when you implement controls, the cost of control should not be higher than the cost of the benefit being derived from the controls. The cost should not be more than the benefits which are being derived. This is the problem. This may be the problem, that you have applied a control costing 10,000 rupees per month, and you are getting benefit of 5,000 or 6,000 or 8,000. So why to implement that control? Now, the potential for human error. Yes. For example, I left my credit card in the company office, forget. Or I left my locker key, I forgot. Or my swipe card to access a certain sensitive area, I forgot. So human error, now that can be abused, misused. Collusion between employees, and they bypass control. One person had to receive goods, other had to record to avoid fraud. What happened? The both joined. Colluded. Collusion means joint. The both of them joined. They say, okay, you receive 1,000 units, steal 300, record 700. And we will share that 300 among us. Collusion. The possibility of controls being bypassed or overridden. The possibility of controls being bypassed. If management is not following the controls, no one will follow. No one will follow if management is not following. And then, yes, controls are designed for routine transactions and may not fulfill the, for example, initially I was doing registration only from the Mauritius. Then I received application from North America. No, I didn't have payment solution. Non-routine. I didn't have control, and later we developed that in the form of PayPal. So limitation, that once your controls are designed, they are being designed for routine transaction and not for non-routine transactions. Now, next is, so this is done. Next, we are moving, recording the accounting and control systems. Recording the accounting and control system. Students, auditor understands the control, and then he has to document, prepare the documentation that how control is working. I got the understanding. Then I have to prepare the documentation. The documentation can be done by 4 ways. 4 ways. No, I'm feeding some, incomplete. Today my iPad pen is not working, and I don't know whether will I get some pen in the next week or not. And I'm missing that while teaching. So student, tell me, the way I'm teaching today, is that way or the way I write? Tell me, which one is better?
Homeo writing is better.
Oh,
Homeo.
yeah.
Writing.
Yeah, that becomes more interactive actually. Okay, now let us proceed. So narrative notes, what narrative notes are? Narrative notes are that when you record the controls in story form, you explain how controls are written, how controls are working. First of all, purchase when the goods receive the reorder level, then then the stores manager, they prepare the purchase requisition and they send it to the purchase department, like that. But he does not check the economic order quantity level, so it might not be story. And you are criticizing as well that what he is not doing. Okay, so narrative notes, what are the advantage, disadvantage? Simply easy, can be used for any system. If they are computerized, if you are typing the story, you can edit in the word easily. But if you have written handily in hand, you may not be possible. It may not be possible for you to edit that. It may not be possible for you to edit that. Yes. Now, next. So then is, yes, describing something in narrative notes can be a lot more time consuming rather than preparing charts, flow, diagram. When you write the story, that takes time. And you cannot have a holistic view of controls. You have to study the whole story from one side, then the other side. So when you cannot read the holistic, holistic view, you cannot have the whole view, the bigger picture of control system. You cannot identify exceptions. Exception means weaknesses in the control. You cannot identify weaknesses. Students, these advantages and disadvantages are very important. These notes, because these things, what I'm teaching today, they are tested for 2 to 4 marks. Normally, limitations, they say explain the limitations. Then you have to explain each limitation. I explained. So you have to explain. Or sometimes they say, what are the narrative notes? Explain. You have to explain what are the narrative notes. Sometimes this, yes, and their advantage is to write one advantage of narrative notes. You must be able to write that. Easy marks. Normally, students lose marks here. Why? Because they have not prepared this easy area well. Even they haven't prepared that easy area. Now, let us proceed. So students, the next way to record control is flowcharts in the form of diagrams start from here. You see here, like this. Processes, flow, chart, lines. Yes. Like this. This example given. So you see here, flowchart, graphical illustration. It is also called infograph. Infographs. So yes. So infographs are prepared. So students, now the next is okay. So advantage and disadvantage of flowcharts. Flowcharts, they are a little, with a little experience, they can be prepared quickly. Yes. They're easy to follow and review. So entirety, holistic view, I was telling, from beginning to end, you can see the bigger picture. Just like that. From beginning to end, you can see the bigger picture and you can identify any exception, any weakness, any loose end. They say any loose end. Loose end means weakness. Will be cursory. I am using the cursor. Cursory means you need not to go in detail. You can identify easily with the movement of cursor. Now, next is disadvantages. For the standardized system, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But when the judgments are involved, unusual transactions, then for them narrative notes are suitable. Amendment is difficult without redrawing. And you have to draft all the system from start to end. And you might be drafting that system which is not important for audit or for you are not ready to file statements and time consuming. Student, these advantage and disadvantage are even tested in the MCQs. So you have to prepare well. Then is the questionnaire. I will come to the questionnaire later on. First, the checklist. The third way to record control, checklist. I have prepared the checklist that these controls should be present. I go, I check, okay, the first control, present, okay, present, check. Second, this one present. Suppliers are sent the payment on time. Who of purchase manager approves the payment? Yes, okay, checklist. The checklists are there. They ask the, you have to fill the checkpoints, you know. Next, let us proceed further. So the next point is the last method to record internal control is questionnaires. Come here. Questionnaires. Yes. Questionnaires are just like that. Forms to be filled by, you ask the question from the employees of the company about controls, and they fill that questionnaire. Who prepare questionnaire? Auditor prepare. And questionnaires are of two types. One is called, questionnaires are of two types. One is called internal control questionnaire, and the other is internal control evaluation questionnaire, ICEQ. ICQ. Internal control questionnaire and internal control evaluation questionnaire. What these questionnaires are about? Students, there is difference. Please focus. Please focus. Internal control questionnaire asks the question regarding presence of control, presence of specific control, like that, like that. Purchase manager, does the purchase manager authorize the purchases, purchase invoices, purchase orders? For example, presence means he signs or not. Specific. Now, two possibilities. Answer may be yes, or answer may be no. If there is a yes answer, yes means controls are fine. And no means there is a deficiency. There is a deficiency. There is a deficiency. Now, next. Let us proceed further. Internal control evaluation questionnaire. Evaluation questionnaire. This asks the question regarding effectiveness of control, whether objectives of controls are being achieved. Its focus is objective. Its focus is objectives. It is bigger, the purpose, bigger picture. So, for example, can purchases be made without authorization? You see? Objective. They say yes. For example, her answer is yes. Purchase manager authorizes. But can it be made? Is there any chance They say, yes, there is a chance. So then it means control is weak, even it is present. So yes means deficiency in control. You see, inverse of that, you see. No means control is fine. No means control is fine. So students, the difference between the both, you see. Effectiveness, objective not, yes. Yes means a problem. Come to the notes. You see here, ICEQ, controls are effective. You see here, and here, its focus is to significant omissions. Its focus is, yes, whether desirable controls are present. Is there any security guard at the building gate? Yes or no? And here, you see here, can anybody enter the building without permission? You see the difference between the both. You see the difference between the both. ICQ and ICEQ. Okay, let me write a question. You will tell me whether it is an ICQ or ICEQ. Sales officer verifies the references of customer are the references of customers verified before giving them credit sale. Now, yes or no? Tell me, is it an ICQ or ICEQ? Word is.
ICQ.
Okay.
ICQ.
True. Okay, I'll write another question. Does the HR Okay. Do the HR personnel set up new employees in the company without involvement of payroll department? Now, yes or no? Is it ICQ or ICEQ?
ICQ.
Yes, please, more people. ICQ or ICEQ? Tell me.
ICQ.
This is an ICQ. It is not talking about objective. It is talking about the presence of certain control. True, it is ICQ. I'm saying objective. You know that ICEQ is talking about effectiveness of control. Can sales discount be given without discount policy of organization? Now tell me, is it ICQ or ICEQ?
ICEQ.
True that. That's fine. Now, let us proceed further. So documentation of control is done. It's advantage and disadvantage, yes. ICEQ and ICQs. Yes, if they are drafted thoroughly, they can consider so many controls. Quick to prepare, easy to use. Yeah, because they are drafted in terms of objectives, they can ICEQ apply to variety of systems. Because objectives, ICQs, they are for specific control. So they are for specific systems. ICQ talks about authorization. Authorization may be by anyone. So can be applied different systems. For example, approvals, policies, system. These have been tested in one of the past paper, this point. ICQ identify, when you evaluate, they identify whether systems are not effective or not. So hence key control, important controls, they help us to identify which are important for the financial statement objectives. Because they talk about objectives, ICEQ. So financial statement objectives. So they help us to identify those controls which are affecting the objectives the most. So that has to be tested, control which have to be tested. ICQ highlights deficiencies. and hence where extensive substantive tests will be performed. If they are drafted vaguely, so may be misunderstood, may contain a lot of irrelevant control which are not related to financial statements objectives. They may not unusual circumstances, of course, may talk about the usual only. This is very important point. Overstate, who is filling the form? Company's employees. Auditor is preparing questionnaire. Who is fulfilling that questionnaire? Company's employees. Company's employees. Yes. So if the company's employees, they are fulfilling the form, they may overstate control. They may tell lies about controls. Actually, controls may not be working. They may be saying they are working because they are telling about the controls. Now, they can give the impression that controls are of equal weight. Very important point. There are 10 questions about control in a questionnaire. 5 questions are about some minor controls. 2 questions are about very important controls, which are very important for financial statement objectives. If 2 questions answer is negative, those 2 questions, still we are saying, okay, 8 questions means 80% controls working well. Okay, two controls are not working well. But this, number game, it deceives. Only 2 controls are not working. 20%. 80% is good. But those 2 are very important. It is unable to identify. You see here, they give the impression all controls are of equal weight. It is wrong. It is wrong. Now, next, let us proceed further. So it is done. So students, the next is evaluation of internal control. So auditor performs then walkthrough test. What is walkthrough test? I told you, third step is walkthrough test. Understand the controls, document the controls, and then performs walkthrough test. And then performs walkthrough test. What is walkthrough test? Walkthrough test is auditor picks a sample of transaction. I have understood how purchase cycle is working. I have already understood. And I have documented all that. I have documented all that. And after documentation, what I am doing, I need to confirm that what I understood and what actually controls are working, whether my understanding is correct. I want to verify. It might be possible my understanding might be wrong. So walkthrough tests are there. They're performed to confirm understanding that what I have got, sometimes it happens. Our perception might be wrong. Our understanding might be wrong and things might be different on the ground. So this needs to be confirmed, verified, whether what understanding I have got, that understanding is correct or not. Now, so students, that's why. So walkthrough tests are performed. So walkthrough tests in order to confirm the understanding of the control system. So auditor picks a transaction, follow through the control system to see whether all the control, which I think they are there actually, or not? That is actually or not. This is called walkthrough test. Is this clear? Walkthrough test is clear to everyone. Tell me, please. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good. So test of control, I have already told you, test of control are tests by auditor to verify controls are achieving their objectives or not. Yes, auditor verify controls. Check the controls. Now, deficiency in internal control. What is deficiency? Deficiency in control means when a control is designed, implemented, but it does not achieve the financial statement objectives. It does not prevent error in financial statements. That is a deficiency. So deficiency is, what is a significant deficiency? Very important. You can note down here at the top, what is a significant deficiency? Yes, what is, sorry, a significant deficiency? Yes, a significant deficiency is one. You know, some points are similar, please repeat it, which has impact in financial statement, misstatement of financial statements. So importance to financial reporting, these 2 points are same. Chance some asset, valuable asset may be stolen or liability may arise. Susceptibility means chances of loss or fraud. How complex and judgment involved? If more complex and more judgment, so then it means deficiency is significant. How much is the amount involved? Bigger the amount, deficiency is significant. Volume of activity. Now listen, try to understand. If a control is related to company's operation, which is at the area of company where only 1 or 2% may visit per day, or control, on the other hand, if it is related to an area where hundreds of people visit, so volume of activity, so where a lot of people are visiting, there that deficiency will be significant. Now, next. Students, so this is also related to that. Frequency, volume of activity. This point, volume of activity, and frequency, these both are same. These two are same. These two. Okay? These two are same, and these two are same. Now, the interaction of deficiency with other deficiency in control. Now try to understand this. Read it once and listen to me then. For example, security guard is not present at the gate. One deficiency. Passwords are not working in the system. Second deficiency. Cameras are not working. The third deficiency. If all 3 deficiencies which are related to each other, controls, if they join, if all 3 are not present, all 3 deficiencies are there, so they become significant deficiency. If, you know, interaction with other deficiencies, interaction with other deficiencies, interaction of deficiency with other deficiencies in the control. Is that clear to you people? Tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone, any confusion? Is it clear to everyone? Now, the next,
Yes.
I have to move to the systems. I have done, explained to you the topics which are related to the components of control, documentation, limitation of control, and now the significant deficiency, walkthrough test as well. I will take a 10 minutes break. After 10 minutes break, the next topic I will start. You can refresh yourself because next topics will be interlinked and very important. Okay. So in 10 minutes, we'll meet and I'll continue then. Thank you. Yes, students, the next topic is, that is sales system. Now what we will be doing? We will be studying different systems of organization, and we'll be trying to link and understand the relationship and difference between control objectives and control procedure. It means controls. So what I will understand, you know, that for each organization, these processes may be different from company to company. So what I will be doing, I will be assuming a scenario over here. What is the most important? The most important is to understand the concept, the logic. The most important is that the control objectives and control procedure. Yes. The difference between the both and the relationship between the both has to be understood. That control control procedure must achieve the control objective. Control procedure must achieve the control objective. This relationship is very much important because objective has to be achieved for just like that. And you know that, for example, we say that purchases should be authorized. In one objective is authorization. In one company, purchase manager authorizes. In another company, assistant manager authorizes. In third company, finance manager authorizes, for example. So practical procedure may be different. For there's another example. For example, it is winter. I want to stay warm. One way is I can wear a jacket. The other is I can turn on a heater in my room. Both ways are correct. Both are, anyone can be used. Logically correct. And objective is staying warm. As long as objective is being achieved, control are okay. Now, so order should be, so the first, for example, I have considered a topic like that. My assumption is the sales cycle has these 4 steps. Sales order is received, goods are dispatched, sale invoice issued, payment received and recorded. So sale order is received. The objective is that order should be accepted for goods available in stock only. Now, in one company, say, whenever an order is there, sale officer must check the availability of goods and then accept order. Another online company, they say website should be integrated with the inventory control. And whenever customer enters the order, it should automatically check the inventory available and then proceed with the order. Both are correct. Controls. For the time being, ignore the third column, test of control. I'm not going to talk about it today. Then is appropriate record of orders received. Appropriate record of orders received. No order is lost. Order should be complete. Appropriate means. So order should be on a standardized order form. It is order form. Order form. Actually, here is some error. M is missing. Standardized, so nothing will be missing on that order form. The next is order form should be sequentially pre-numbered and multi-copied. Multi-copied properly, sequentially pre-numbered. It will ensure it is not, if it goes missing, it can be identified. Credit sales to be made to credit-worthy customers only, and of appropriate credit limits. Two objectives are there: of appropriate worthy customers. So whenever a new customer comes, credit check should be performed for that. And references should be obtained and verified whether we should make them credit. So do you see here from these two controls, sorry. From these two controls, this first objective is being met. And then credit limit. Define credit limit policy. For credit customer, it should be approved by senior management. So second objective is achieved. Yes. So objectives are being achieved by the controls. Now, goods are dispatched. Goods ordered are, the customer order bananas. We should not send them potatoes. What they ordered, that should be dispatched. So how to make sure? What goods should be counter-checked with the sales order form. 1% pack and one counter-check. And both should sign GDN. You see, these two documents are very important. These two documents, GDN, sale order, count, and then signature, because they are using this to ensure controls. And ultimately, it is achieving this control objective. Yes. Now, appropriate record of goods dispatched. Goods dispatched, multi-copied, pre-numbered, GDN must be issued at each dispatch of goods. Yes, then record will be ensured. Now, next. Goods should be delivered to the right customer. It should be and received. Sometimes they say we have received and they may refuse. So proof should be established. How to make it sure? A copy of GDN must be sent along with the good dispatched. Customer must sign, and that should be the form of company's records. Both control objectives are being achieved with it. You see here, this one. Both are being achieved. You see here. Both are being achieved. Next, sales invoices issued. So sales invoices should be issued for goods dispatched. Means what you have actually dispatched, and should not be issued for other goods. So one should prepare, reviewed by, with the copy invoice. You see here, very important. Invoice should be copy of GDN. One person prepare and one review. And both of them should sign the invoice as a proof that I have checked it. And ultimately, this objective will be achieved. Yes. this objective will be achieved ultimately. Yes. Now, next. So yes, this is something outdated, but yes, this will not happen now. Check receipt by post. But for just try to understand, the post should be opened by 2% at a present to reduce the chance of theft. Again, I say, ignore the third column. We are not doing it today. Next. The next is appropriate record of cash received. Appropriate record of cash received. Yes. Now, yes, how to achieve that? A pre-numbered, multi-copied, you know that, receipt should be issued in the name of person depositing the cash. Is that clear to everyone? Students, read it. Try to understand the link between the both. Linkage is important. Control objective and control procedure. Please go through it. And tell me, is it clear or not? Tell me, please. Go through it. And if it is clear, tell me in the chat box. Waiting your response before I proceed. More people, please respond. This linkage, that how controls are achieving objectives and how control should achieve objectives. The next is purchase system. So if it is clear, now this thing will be easy for you. Purchase system. Purchase requisition is generated. Purchase order is placed. Goods are received, payment to supplier. So purchase requisition is generated by stores department. Yes, the first one. So the first one is control objectives are there. Avoid requisition generated. Avoid excessive stock because when they are requiring the purchase department to purchase goods, as well as stock out. So what are the controls to achieve it? You see, excessive stock avoidance, it is the one control. It is one control. Avoid excessive stock. So EOQ, economic order quantity. That when you order only economic order quantity to avoid excessive. Reorder level to avoid stock out. And they should be observed. Appropriate record of purchase requisition. So they should be sequentially pre-numbered and multi-copied properly. Sequentially pre-numbered and multi-copied properly. So third, I told you to ignore. Purchases should be at competitive prices. Now, how it should be done? One company say, okay, we will ask for the quotations and select the lowest price. The other is, I have a list of authorized suppliers should be maintained. An order should be placed with them only. Order should be placed with them. Authorized supplier list. Next, appropriate record of purchase orders. Yes. So purchase order should be sequentially pre-numbered and multi-copied properly. Yes. Multi-copied properly. So it will be achieved through that. Next, goods requested or order means requisition. Store department requested one thing, the order should be the same thing. So purchase order should be counter-checked with purchase requisition by a specific person and signed by that person. So you see here, two documents. Purchase order should be counter-checked with the purchase requisition. One person prepare, the other should counter-check and sign that. So automatically, that's the same, purchase order is same, which purchase requisition, matching the both. So ultimately, it will be achieved. So purchases should be authorized. So purchase order must be signed by senior manager. Automatically, it will be achieved. Now, so goods are received. Ensure goods ordered are accepted. Means we have ordered carrots and they are delivering potatoes and they should not be accepted. So on receipt, goods should be matched with the copy of purchase order and then should be accepted to ensure that it is happening. So appropriate record of goods. So for sequentially pre-numbered, GRN must be issued. Objective, yes, payment for goods received and purchased only. It might be possible they may send us invoice, supplier, for those goods which we have not received. So at the accounts department, they should match 3 documents for this purpose. They should match GRN, purchase order, invoice, match 3. Invoice they have sent with these 2 documents. And then payment voucher should be signed. And then check should be issued. You see, automatically it will be achieved. Yes. Yes, it is achieved. So it is done as well. Now, along with it, purchase and sale of inventory. Inventory is also covered. So I will complete inventory immediately. Purchase and sale inventory. So inventory objectives, all inventory movements are recorded. So pre-numbered GD and GRN should be issued. So yes, recorded. Safety of inventory from theft. Physical access of inventory is limited. Not everyone should be allowed to store. And yes, it will ensure it. Separate responsibility for accounting record of inventory and physical, segregation of duty. Inventory should be possession of one person and accounting record should be relevant to the other person. And counted regularly. 3 controls are achieving it, you see. All purchase and sales that they should record it in the system. And one more thing, this is for it. Daily processing of goods inward report, dispatch reports, GDNs. For dispatch documents are basically GDNs. Inward reports are GRNs. Daily processing of all GRN and GDN. And it is related to again this. Goods held at third party. Sometimes companies' goods, they are held at supplier. We have not received the goods. We have purchased, we have paid, we own, but still there with supplier. So that should be included in the inventory. Next objective, to ensure that inventory is recorded at lower of cost and NRV. So cost, standard cost should be reviewed and updated on a regular basis. On a regular basis, standard cost. And obsolete inventory should be identified. This is for NRV. Obsolete, excess, slow moving, cost, standard cost, lower of cost. Yes. You see, how objectives are being achieved. I give you 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Go through it, what I have covered so far. If there is any question, I am here before I proceed. Please take 5 minutes. Go through the purchase system, inventory, and if there is any question, ask, please. Be quick. Yes, please. Is it clear so far? Any question before I proceed? Tell me. All right. Now, next. Next topic is cash and bank. Just a minute, please. Where is the course plan? Just a minute, please. Let me check the course plan. What we have to cover today. Just a minute, please. In my opinion, we have already covered a lot as per course plan. Just a minute, please. AA batch B, here we are. Here is the course plan in front of you. So we have covered today components of controls, documentation, sale, purchase. We have already done whatever is the part of that. So I am going to cover cash and bank as well now, and I will cover payroll as well today. Okay, so cash and bank is another topic which is missing in the course plan. Okay, cash and bank we will do today. And you see here in the next class, I will start with the capital expenditure. Payroll I will cover today. And then test of control and practice questions. And practice. Yes. 2 classes, and then I may conduct an additional class for practice. Might be possible. Additional class for practice for you people. Now, so we are just right on the track. Yes. Just 1 second. So cash and bank is here. So cash and bank is here. Page 71. Only valid cash payments are made. So custody of cash and accounting record means that cash, the separate person, segregation of duties, just like inventory. Only authorized staff can make electronic payment. Few people, to ensure it happens. To ensure it happens. Electronic cash payment and checks prepaid only after all source documents, yes, approval of the payment vouchers. Then they should be. then they should be approved. Payment should be made. Objectives are being achieved. Yeah, all cash payments which occurred and are recorded. Review of cash payment by management before release. Again, but by the way, it is again for this one, not for it. This objective is for this one. To check valid payment are being made. Daily cash payment posting to accounts. It is related to it. Yes. Daily cash payments. Yes. And then monthly bank reconciliations. You see here. Bank reconciliations. Prepared by one person, reviewed by another person. Again, to ensure recording is correct or not. You see here, cash and bank, objective, any point which is not clear to ask me. Now comes the payroll. Payroll. Students, then this will remain the last topic which I will discuss in the next class. And in the next class, I'll be talking about test of control and then practice question. So, payroll. Payment is made only to bona fide employee, genuine employee of the company. So, students, payroll, segregation of duties between HR and payroll means that only HR should be allowed to set up the employee to avoid any fictitious employee. Only HR. Personal file held for each person detail. Personal file I'll maintain at HR. I join the company, my file, the file in the name of me, my contract, my everything. Authorization for hiring, for termination, rate, overtime. So that everything is bona fide. Authorization should be done. You see here. Now, any change in employment status, maternity leave, special leave, they should be informed to HR. Again, bona fide payments. And yes, timesheets, clock cards, biometric record, then approved by supervisor, so that payments are made valid payment to the employees. You know, in company to company things vary. Only employees with valid employees number are paid. So all these are making sure this one thing. If you focus, what is being ensured? This is being ensured by all these controls or control procedures. Any questions so far? Is that clear, students?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. All payroll costs are recorded for work done by employees. All payroll costs are recorded for work done by employees. Objective: work done by employees. Clock cards, timesheets, biometrics. They ensure that the work is done by them. Timesheets, activity reports, and reconciliation of payroll record and employee cost. Two documents are very important. You see here, payroll record and general ledger comparison, regular reconciliation of wages cost over there in the both. Then check bank transfer list with the payroll Three things. Bank transfer is a list of employees, their salaries, and total of salary with the check and with the payroll. Three compared. That the same have been recorded in the payroll what is being paid, and this would be one person should prepare, another authorize the check, other authorize the check timely. Now, all benefits and deductions are computed correctly. So one person prepare payroll, the other reviews, and they both sign, and both should sign the payroll as evidence or salary slip. Students, please go through the payroll. Any point which is where there is a problem, please ask. Please ask. Any point where there is a problem, please ask. Tell me, please, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, students, so the task for today is done. Now, note down these pages, these all topics. These all topics, which is in the lecture 3. You have to prepare these topics. Third column, you have not payroll, I have already covered. Capital expenditure, I will cover in the next class, and test of controls as well. Remember, I'm warning you, those who will not prepare today's lecture, they will start confusing in the next class. That's for sure. I am giving you guarantee. I'm sorry. If you do not prepare it, you will start confusing it as from next class. Okay? And please do not blame me then. This is what I know based on my experience of teaching audit since last 13 years. Please, I need the response from you in terms of your time devotion with the subject. If you feel that I am not working well, I am not teaching something well, I am open to criticism, and positive suggestions are welcome. I'm trying to put my heart and soul into it. Your role cannot be replaced. Do you agree? Tell me. Do
Yes,
you agree
sir.
or not?
Yes.
Yes.
And I want to hear from all of you in the next class that this lecture is perfectly prepared. Without perfection, things will not be good. Hope to hear some good news from you in the next class. God bless you. See you next week. Goodbye. Goodbye.